in a 60 zone.
Well, good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. To you, wherever you are, we say thanks and welcome to this special GBN production for today, the 19th day of November. I want to say thanks to those of you that's in television, whether you have been with us all morning. That's Classic 105.5 or 105.9. Or if you're joining us via GBN Television, Channel 7, Channel 11, and Channel 20. And those of you that's certainly joining us on our social media platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or our website. I'm Joseph Cadeau, and I'm in studio with me is Jermaine Simon. Good morning, Jermaine. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm dry.
You dry?
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to put it. I am dry, really dry, and I'm warm, and I came to work with extra clothes.
That's right. I see that.
I came all cloaked up for the weather.
Good.
Yes, it is indeed a special pleasure being here with you this morning. And folks, we're just going to deviate from what is supposed to be Christmas with GBN, and certainly, as you can appreciate, following the downpour that we've had this morning. When I say it's a downpour, the last time I saw water of that magnitude was actually during Emily, not even Ivan. Because Ivan was mostly the wind. Yeah, I got up this morning and my yard, totally, there's a ravine behind me.
Wow.
I couldn't tell the difference between the yard and the ravine. Wow. But I was quite safe. But certainly, there's been a lot of floods, a lot of disruptions to the flow of the traffic. And I have two gentlemen that's waiting online for me. Wayne Williams, former forecaster. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to introduce him. Not sure exactly what hat he's wearing. But I know he wouldn't mind if I just called him Wayne Williams, my dear old friend and former forecaster. But added to the challenge we've had with the downpour and everything, there's been a lot of rerouting of the traffic. We saw photos and different places of floods and so across the island. And so it's a bit of a challenge to negotiate exactly where and what we should do. But joining us live on the line is ASP Baptiste, and he's in fact the officer in charge of the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. ASP, good morning. How are you?
Pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Cado, and a pleasant good morning to the listening and viewing public of this special program.
Wonderful. Just give us bring us up to speed on what's happening. Read the traffic.
Okay. So thank you for having me this morning to give the public an update as to the present situation from a traffic standpoint. I must say things have subsided quite a bit to what we would have experienced earlier on this morning. We and I'm speaking generally traffic throughout Grenada, and we had a number of areas where we had road closures. We had to do some diversions, but the current situation now, things have improved quite a bit, and as it stands now, we just have a few roads that are still closed. So I will start off with reference to the Western Division, and as we speak, things have subsided quite a bit at the Western Division. We had a couple road closures earlier on, but currently, we only have the Digo Peace Public Road is now only can facilitate one lane traffic, but all the other areas on the western side are almost back to normal in terms of traffic flow. Switching over to the Eastern Division, Baltazar, motorists are advised presently to avoid using the Baltazar Public Road. We have two slides in that area, and as it stands, only trucks or pickups that will be able to pass there, and they will still have to exercise some caution. So we want to advise motorists that they should really refrain from trying to access the Baltazar Public Road, but you can use the alternative route, and persons can access the Bylands Public Road to get to the different areas for those of you who will not be able to access the Baltazar Public Road. There is some small slides at different areas within the Eastern Division, but those slides are not creating road closure or obstruction to traffic. So persons can still access those areas. So it's only the Balthazar main road that is an area of concern at this time.
Right.
Right here in St. George's, we have some road closure. The Sendal Tunnel public road is presently closed because of water below the tunnel, and also there is a small slide as you exit the tunnel. So motorists will not be able to pass below the tunnel as we speak. So if you need to get into town coming from the Carnage, we advise you to make that right turn onto Young Street and another right onto Scott Street, and you make that left to get onto Church Street or Market Hill to get into town. Also, the Woolwich Road is closed to vehicular traffic presently because we have two slides in that area. So you will see a no through road sign at the intersection of Lotus Lane and Archibald Avenue. So that is to tell you that the road is closed at a certain point. So you will not be able to go beyond that little roundabout in the area by Guardian Group or Sagico Insurance to get out onto Lucas Street. So if you need to get onto Lucas Street, please don't use Archibald Avenue. You go up the lane and make that turn on the Lucas Street roundabout to access Lucas Street.
Right.
River Road presently is one-way traffic going towards Tempe direction. So if you are coming from town, you can pass along River Road to get onto the Eastern Main Road, onto the Granite Tank Public Road or onto Bolio or Tempe area. If you're coming from Bolio side, you will not be able to access River Road. You will have to go up Myrtle Hill onto Sanssouci Public Road and exit onto Lucas Street. So presently, Myrtle Hill is one-way traffic in an upward direction where you can either go to Independence Avenue or continue onto Sanssouci and exit onto Lucas Street. We had some flooding in the Canton area earlier on this morning that has since subsided, but there is mud in the road there. So we want to advise motorists as you access that particular road and also River Road that you should drive with some due care and attention because the road has some mud in it that can cause you to skid and so forth. So it is very, very important for you to drive with due care and attention and drive within the speed limit as you access those roads or any area where there would have been the slides would have been subsided because there would be definitely mud in those roads. But
right.
Outside of that, things are almost back to normal in terms of a traffic situation.
Help me to appreciate, I know early in the morning there were some challenges along the St. Paul's route. I heard there was a few along St. Paul's. What's the situation with that?
Thanks for mentioning St. Paul's because we still have some challenges of St. Paul's, especially in the Pedmotor area. In the Pedmotor area, that portion of road there is still closed. After coming off the program, I will have to reach out to the officers there to get an application and give you a further update as it relates to that area.
What's happening? What's happening on the south of the island?
Right, the south of the island, we had a flood in the Montrouge area earlier this morning, and that's on the KFC side. So traffic was not accessible on that end, but as we speak now, that has since subsided and traffic has back flowing there. We also had flood in the Woodlands area,
yes,
but that has since subsided. So the south is back to normal presently.
So besides those major points and places we've highlighted, any major advice you would want to give to persons today? For example, while the Tantine Road is accessible, it is evident there's a lot of heavy silt on it.
Yes. So what I really want to advise to persons, the roads that we mentioned that where there was slides and a lot of debris and mud, once it's not necessary for you to access those roads, please refrain from passing along those roads. And if it becomes necessary for you to access those roads, you must do so with due care and attention and driving within the speed limit.
I know last time there were concerns of the visibility of officers. What can you speak to us about that, and what can we expect?
Well, presently there's officers at the different intersections directing and regulating the traffic. But
right.
what I can say, unlike to what happened the last time, with this situation, it seems like a number of persons did not come to town. But with the situation before, everyone was already in town.
Right.
So we have very limited congestion in comparison. So there is not much need for that bulk of officers as the other time.
Great. Anything you probably want to add, ASP?
No, it's just to encourage the motoring public to exercise caution as best as they can, and to take all the necessary precautionary measures that they can take to prevent any accidents or incidents during such time.
Great, thank you. Speaking there live on the line is ASP Randel Baptiste, and he's the officer in charge, in charge of the traffic department of the Royal Grenadier Police Force. Thank you, ASP.
You're most welcome, son. Take good care.
Great. So, Jermaine, things are lightening up compared to where we were a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm. And I'm happy to hear that.
I'm really happy to hear that.
And another thing, we had to be very careful, the motorists, like when you're driving on the road and there's a hill, and you have mudslide and stuff, you never know what could be on top of that.
That's
so
correct.
You never know what could come down. So
I think it is, if today more than ever we have to drive not just for ourselves but for those who sometimes who takes on a blind approach when they are driving. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where you were, but that rain, I was up when that rain started this morning, and as fast as I fell asleep around after 3. I had to wake up, but I had to wake up not too long after at Springs. I'm telling you, water was coming from all directions, and I was like, wow. But we are attempting to put all of these things into perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's rainy season, and we've been told, well, it's rainy season, you're all accustomed with rain, but I've seen rain. And then there's rain here, and then there is rain. So we decided, the folks down at Met Office, they are busy, but certainly we know there are other experts that we can call upon. And the man Wayne Williams is joining us live on the line right now. Good morning, Mr. Williams. How are you?
Good morning to you, JT. Good morning, everyone.
How have you been? How has the weather been treating you?
Well, been treating me good, considering how some other people have to go through. So I won't complain.
Well, I guess you're best qualified, and you would know how to handle those kind of weather. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but okay. Well, let's just jump into this thing head first. It is a rainy season. We understand we have two main seasons. There's the rain, and we are in the rainy season. But give us an appreciation of what we are experiencing. What is the cause of it? We keep hearing of the term ITCZ. And that's a term I heard of in geography years ago.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, the Intertropical Convergence Zone, the ITCZ, however you pronounce the last letter, it is an area where northeast and southeast trade winds come together. Because of rotation of the Earth, the prevailing winds in the northern hemisphere in our areas coming from the northeast, in the southern hemisphere coming from the southeast. So when these two winds come together in the vicinity of the equator, when they come together, they cause uplifting. That uplifting, very strong uplifting, it creates these heavy showers, thunder showers, lots of rain. Now, the location of the ITCZ will depend on whether the northeast or the southeast trades are stronger. So if it's the southeast, it will push it north. If it's the northeast, it will push it south. And that's a simplified explanation of it. Now, what we had in this case here was, I hope I'm not jumping the gun, but what we had in this case here was not just the ITCZ, because we do get heavy rains from the ITCZ. Trinidad, which is south of us, also experiences a lot of activity from the ITCZ. But what we had playing out at the same time is a cold front coming off North America and it was strong enough that the trough reached into the southern Caribbean. Sometimes you find these systems will rain off over the northern Caribbean, but because of the strength of this front, it entered the central and the southern Caribbean, and so those two systems came together at the same time. So that is what made this much worse than on other occasions, right? So once these two systems came together, it was we saw the extent of them, because both systems are strong enough to generate this kind of a weather on their own and to produce flooding. So the two of them come together in this case. We had that experience. The good news is that they're both dissipating, so we should continue to see improvement in the weather over the next few days.
Is it possible? So let's talk the ITCC by itself. With it by itself, what are some of the how does it interact? And so at least persons can understand, because you talk of the impact of the ITCC, and plus there's another, the trough system. Outside of the trough, how does it interact and impact the climate, the weather, that is?
As I said, the ITCC could drift north, could drift south.
Right.
Dependent on the strength of the winds in the northern hemisphere or the winds in the southern hemisphere. And again, I'm saying that this is a simplified explanation, right? Now, as it does so, once these two winds come together, uplifting, condensation, heavy rainfall. Okay, and remember, it's happening over the ocean, where there is that constant supply of moisture for these two systems. So it will bring heavy rain. The ITCC is associated with heavy rain, extreme rainfall events. So when it happens, if it's affecting, a lot of it happens over open waters also in the southern and in the central Atlantic. But when it affects our landmass, we would get that heavy and extreme rainfall that we have.
So persons are asking, have we ever been impacted by the ITCC before? And if so, what about this one that makes it so uniquely different that you're having these torrential rains?
All the time. The ITCC will bring this kind of a rainfall all of the time. I think why people's interest, our interest is more peaked now because of the intensity and the gravity of the situation. And what made it worse is the two systems coming together.
Right.
We do get heavy rainfall from the intertropical convergence zone. That is, it's not something recent. It has nothing to do with climate change, right?
So your advice would be that it is not something that individuals should be unnecessarily worried about?
By itself, no. But it is not only the actions of the ITCC that will create flooding in Grenada. There are lots of other factors, local factors, that we as individuals contribute towards flooding.
Let's talk about some of those other factors, Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I want people to understand, because so if we're saying that the ITCC as it is, it's been there with us since time immemorial. It is there, so it's not something that we should worry about. The torrential rains the volume of rains that we see is that system plus when it's coupled with a trough. But you're saying the flooding and the slides itself. What's giving rise to that, though?
Well, let me say clearly, my area is meteorology.
Right.
Not land management, not these other areas.
Right.
I think, GT, we can see that our actions, the way we build, I stand corrected. An expert in that area could come in and debunk everything that I am postulating. But
right.
I'm saying that the way we build, the way we treat our environment, if water has no place to run off, granted, regardless of how much opportunity the water had to run off, this event that we just had, it would have flooded anyway, right? So I'm not saying that that is only the only reason for this massive flooding that we had, but our lifestyle and things we do contribute to it, and it makes the flooding worse in some cases, right? We building on more marginal lands, for example. We do not cater for the proper storage or runoff of the water that fall on our roof, in our paved driveways, and so on.
Right.
I mean, I'm quite certain. For example, I got caught in the rain and I was coming up by a food fair, and there's just one example. Every driveway to the right and to the left, and the road just above food fair, each one was a river feeding into the main river, which, and I'm calling it a river. Right? So the experts will have to look into. I'm no expert in that area, but our lifestyle, that is contributing a bit to some of the flooding that we having. It's making it worse in some cases.
So the ITCC has nothing to do with climate change. Allow me to ask, though. We've been having this, as it is, I normally refer to the weather as extremities of a different kind. It's either it is very, very, very hot, it's very, very cold, it's very, very, it's dry, and then it is very, very wet, right? And those factors, the experts would agree, the extreme weather patterns, they are related to climate change.
Not all experts agree.
Not all experts agree.
I'm saying not every extreme of weather is associated with climate change.
But
yes, there is climate change happening.
Right.
The whole Earth is warming, and there's data to prove that. But I'm saying that we should not go crying climate change every time we have an extreme event of the weather.
But
and taking responsibility away from us and our actions.
So let's go back now, because I was about to ask you if in any way the extreme dryness of the earth, how does that add to the challenge of flood when you have these extreme rainfall?
But if you have significant drying out of the earth and then we get heavy downpour, because the earth is loose, the soil is loose, that could wash away. So the flooding, no, the heavy rainfall could cause erosion of topsoil, and so. Of course, if that gets fed into the rivers, no, it will silt up the river. It will cause, right? It could cause, dependent on the quantity, that could now reduce the size of the channel of the river and cause flooding also. Okay? So the weather is a continuum. The dry season will affect the rainy season will affect the dry season. And so upper level winds, moisture over the area, lots of these things come into it. You have to remember that meteorology is not an exact science. You put in all the same factors and you get back the same result all the time, right?
Right. Let's talk about recommendation, because you did hint to human activity and that which we are doing that's adding to the challenge. Recommendation. What are some of the immediate recommendations you would want to bring to the table?
Duty, again, I'm not an expert in that area. We have so many people, everybody have an opinion on what needs to be done. I will answer that in a general way. We need to examine our lifestyle, our build, the way we build, right? What we do. We could start in our own general area. Right? We also have to start looking at things like water harvesting in our homes. Right? So I'm not going to sit here and say this is what, that is what has to be done. Right? I'm saying that it has to be a holistic approach. First of all, we have to determine why the flooding is taking place before we could jump to a solution. Right? If we don't know, if we can't see exactly what is causing, or to a great extent, what is causing the flooding, on what is not an issue.
Right.
Right? We have to face the fact that some places would continue to flood. River Road, unfortunately, even though mitigation measures are taking place there, that riverbed is already at sea level.
Okay.
So the water is not going to flow out into the sea as quickly as it is coming down, right? But notice how quickly the flood water subsided, because it eventually runs up into the sea. So in terms of river road area, if the river is already or very close to sea level, I don't know what could be done to increase the flow out there. I wouldn't even look to suggest it, to be honest with you. Right? The people who are experts in those areas I would leave that for them to look at, right?
But certainly you would agree with me, though, that one of the things that we can do personally is reassess the way we get rid of debris and garbage. Because when this river comes down, Wayne, you surprised what comes down with it.
I'm not surprised anymore. Right? And it's not only people dumping in the river, but if anything is close to the river bank, that will get washed down into the river, right? People clearing, harvesting bamboo for construction, leaving the, and I know of this, I'm not just speculating.
Right.
Look how much bamboo comes down. It's not bamboo that was uprooted, but you can see that bamboo that was cut. Bamboo, when it comes together, it creates a dam. Once it gets lodged under a bridge, it creates a dam, and of course it will cause the water to now overflow the bridges, right? So all of these practices, we have a habit of blaming everything except ourselves.
And of course, we, and I guess because of increased population, we find more and more we encroaching on what used to be the bank of the river, and all of those sort of stuff. Now people are now literally, the only thing we have not done is build our houses on the river. It's in the river.
We have to start we are building on marginal lands, because some of the best lands to build on it's out of most people's price range.
Okay.
So there's no easy fix.
Well, there's no easy fix 10 minutes onto the hour of 11 o'clock, but it's certainly you agree that what we have control of, our human activity, that we have to make some immediate changes in the now.
Of course. Massive constructions, no way to harness the runoff. You have large parking lots, you have large buildings, the water comes down. There's no way for it to go except into the narrow 2-foot drains that we have. It's obvious that we're going to get flooding.
And you certainly, I know you're not an engineer, but certainly when persons are building, it would be prudent that they put appropriate drainage around their homes.
That should be standard practice, right? Standard practice. So you see, the small things add up. That's what I'm saying, right? We're going to continue getting severe weather. In the past we got severe weather, and we're going to continue getting it. The weather is not going to become milder, right? We have to be prepared for these things, and it has to start at an individual level. Of course, there may be certain legislations in certain areas, but as I say,
those things are above your pay grade.
Way above. Way above.
You were happy to make that disclosure. Anyway, Wayne, indeed, it is always a pleasure. But one final thing, though, and I guess we can speak to it, is how do we deal? Because for some reason, when we get these sort of weather, mentally, I don't know if it triggers something in our head. And again, you would call. I know NADMA has done it all the time. Talk about changing our mental psyche and being able to prepare ourselves. You probably may just want to add to that.
Yeah,
we somehow tend to panic all of a sudden, and we think, as you said, we think in the worst.
Yeah, and we know that every year during the rainy season we expect bad weather, but yet somehow we're still not prepared. And as you say, we panic, we get nervous, right? People blame every institution that they can, and in some cases they may be justified. But we have to understand that we have a hurricane season from June to November as official hurricane season. September, October, November, we get lots of rain. We have to prepare in some small way, not only at the national level, but at the individual level.
And the community level.
Responsibility. And the community level, right? We have community groups. Now, people come out very well after an event, help clean up, and so what are you doing before to try and mitigate that?
Right.
So we need to be more proactive instead of being reactive. We need to be reactive also. But if we are proactive in our communities, who knows? It may help make things a bit better.
It may not prevent you from reacting, but it may reduce on what you have to do after.
Exactly.
Well,
Right, yeah.
well, we leave the conversation there when I was speaking there with Wayne Williams, meteorologist, and Wayne, it's indeed a pleasure. It has been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
I'm not,
Thank you, GT.
I'm not sure who pulled you out from that hole that you were in, but either way, thanks for responding to the call.
Okay.
Take care, comrade.
Good one, man. Thank you.
Okay, all the best. 5 minutes gone. 5 minutes on to the hour of 11 o'clock. That was quite a mouthful. And
Yeah.
I mean, and certainly, as you said, there are things that that's outside of our reach. But what's consistent? What can we do? And I think that's a question that actually resides with us. What can I do? What can you do? Think about it. What do you think you can do around your home to assist with the challenge of flooding?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, this morning I woke up and I saw the drain, and me and my neighbor was actually talking, and we live at the bottom, but there's this, this slope. Water will come down, but we have a drain on the side. So I'm saying, okay, I did ask her, well, what can we do to actually remove all this stuff from the drain so when the water come down, you will not be able to clog up the place and the whole place being flooded and stuff like that. So I think he is right. It starts with us too as well.
Yeah, we have to indeed take a measure of personal responsibility for our actions. And I mean, one of the common things is when you see the flood, the bamboo. But where will this bamboo come out?
Normally, I would see that like a whole set of bamboo and sticks after the flood just come right
So
down.
that's bamboo that's traveled miles up wherever it is, and it comes down, creates those blockages, creates a dam, and then all of a sudden, water has nowhere to go. Well, it starts to build up. It ends up in the road. Once water starts to move, we have another problem. We indeed have another problem. But we're looking at some live footage from visuals from this morning. I'm not sure exactly which part of the island that is, but certainly early enough. I think most people probably opted to remain at home when they saw the weather. And it's not just last night. I remember even Saturday night. Sunday itself, football and a lot of other activities literally got flooded out. I was actually jokingly saying, you know what's a good Christmas gift this year? Guess. Raincoat and water boots. I mean, if you give somebody a raincoat and a water boot, they probably think, like, seriously? But the more they think about it, trust me.
That's a good one.
Trust me.
Yes.
We keep our eyes on the clock. We take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back right here on GBN Television and Classic Radio.
If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
Ace and Napper means getting help when you walk through the door. Ace and Napper is variety and quality at the right price. Ace and Napper has everything you will need for the household, for your lawn and patio. Even the highest quality paints, beautifying your home inside and outside. Just the right building supplies you need. And Napper providing the best in automotive supplies and accessories. The guarantee is we are so much more than a hardware store. Ace and Napper on the Morris Bishop Highway and Cross Street in the city. Ace will always be the helpful place.
At Banfield,
we provide wholesale and distribution for Wrigley products.
Also crystal cleaning products. Banfield for various household items.
Banfield is your distributor for all your quality choice products.
Banfield.
Now introducing Better Living products, which includes oats and cereals, granola, and trail mixes, together with many more.
We are also your distributors of Oran doors and windows, which include
Steel doors, commercial doors, sliding doors. They also have available 5 different styles of louvers. Windows are available in UPVC and aluminum. Also available are shower stalls, glass railings, skylights, and storm shutters.
Visit us Mondays to Fridays at the Tantine Terrace behind Tam City from 8 to 4 p.m. daily, or give us a call on 440-3645.
Email us at info@banfields.gd or visit us on our website www.banfieldsgrenada.com.
We may not be able to help you bake the perfect ham, but we can help you with the groceries to try again. Get free groceries from Flow when you sign up for a postpaid mobile bundle or high-speed broadband. Plus, get a chance to win the grand prize of $10,000. Sign up in-store or online at discoverflow.co today. Terms and conditions apply. However you're Christmasing, Flow's got you covered.
It is exactly 11 o'clock in the studios of Classic and across the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. I want to say thanks and welcome to today's programming. Revised just a bit, as we consider we give credence to the weather. Abnormal, some may say. Just speaking there to meteorologist Wayne Williams, and he's saying, listen, it is what it is. It is the rainy season. And with me is reporter Rena Thomas Pear. Yeah. And it's at I get so used just to saying Rena when I have to give you your full portfolio, as I don't remember which one comes first.
Doesn't matter once they're together.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know some people are very picky. They're very picky. Rena, you were up and about quite early this morning, and navigating your way down from St. Andrew Telescope area to St. George. Talk to us about the experience.
I can't say that the experience was bad, honestly, because I'm used to the aspect of Grenville being flooded, the Baltazar Bridge being impassable. So these are normal things for me. But this morning, Grenville was not flooded about after 6, sometime about 20 to 7. Around that time, I normally leave home about 6:30. So around that time, Grenville was not flooded, but the Baltazar Bridge was impassable. We could not go through that route. We had to try the Byland route, which did have some slide as well. So there was some mini slide in Baltazar. I saw a lot of that on that route going up to the bridge. The heavy rains did cause, of course, you can see that the river was just going crazy as expected. Heading up to that area, we were actually trying to contemplate if we should turn back and go to St. James and end up in Bridge Cove, but one of the drivers stopped us and told us no, we should go straight because the slides are not that bad over in Bylands. So we did pass through that route and we head up Bridge Cove. Over the hills wasn't that bad. Honestly, I must say, I believe personally that the work that was done over the hills have really helped when it comes to that loose amount of soil that would have come down normally. It just did. I believe it did a good work. That job did something good that when it came to not having too much slides over the hills. And
it's one of the things that is just unique about Grenada. We have all these by roads to get from point A to point B. Those by roads, they do come into high demand on occasions like these.
Yes, it did. Because when we were thinking about, so bylands might be impassable. Where can we go? Where can we pass? Right. And we were just thinking, so I know St. James is another area, and I don't think that we've experienced a lot of slides on that area before. So that was definitely an alternative route for us. If not, then we have to figure out where can we pass.
I mean, you've been navigating that terrain since a child. I mean, you look at the weather pattern now. In your mind, has anything changed about it? Is there anything different?
For me, I think the past few weeks, it's just consistency. I mean, we're used to the rain. It's coming in around this time. It's just the consistency within the couple of days. I believe that is the problem. The water is just coming. They're just giving us 2 days rest, and then it's just coming back again. And consistency is what I'm seeing now. Of course, we know climate change is real, so we expect a lot of changes.
We're just talking to the meteorologist, and he was talking about taking personal responsibility. What would you want to add to that conversation about us taking responsibility for what we do or even what we don't do?
Especially around the rainy season, what we have to consider is knowing that we expect this sort of rain is a contingency plan, especially when it comes to the family. So we know this morning schools were closed. We need to think, parents may need to come think about, what if school closed next week again? Where can I leave my kids? What are the alternatives for me when it comes to ensuring that they're safe? Where am I living? If I experienced a slide before, what are some of the things I can do to maybe alleviate that, or even make the situation where my home is not that damaged, or my that slide that would come down wouldn't go with my foundation? These are the things we have to consider now, especially some of us who want to build. Where we build our home is very important.
And it's interesting you talk about planning. When we went to school as a child, once rainy season came, your raincoat was part of your daily paraphernalia.
Or your little umbrella.
Your little umbrella. So all little girls had the umbrella, boys had their raincoat and all of that, and you put in your little raincoat bag under it. No, I don't even think children even go to school with umbrellas anymore. Yeah. Maybe we need to start. I was telling Jermaine, I think the perfect Christmas gift this year is raincoat and water boots.
Yes. Parents should ensure that they have these things for the reasons. I mean, we only have 2 seasons in the year.
Yeah.
Dry season and rainy season. So we should be prepared when it comes
Prepare for at least one.
When it comes to, some families should have at least 2 or 3 umbrellas in their homes to ensure that around the rainy season you're safe. And just talk to your children. I mean, if you can send them from home to school without you walking them there, or with just assistance from the bigger children, of course you can talk to them and let them know. When rain fall, this is what to expect. You need to have your boots, or maybe, ensure that maybe you might need to have an extra slipper in your bag because your shoe and your socks might wet. Them little things you have to pass through Grenville. So take out your socks and shoe you have it all day, and put the slippers in your foot and you walk home, or you get the bus or whatever in the rain.
Or the age-old habit of getting a special spot to put the old shoes so you come down.
We do that still. We put that old shoes in the corner there in the plastic, so when you reach, you shove that in because you don't want to walk in the mud to go inside, whether it's a track or whatever you have to pass to go home.
I think one of the, we spoke to ASP about that, the volume of traffic, which is the same volume of traffic on the road every day, but maybe what persons need to consider, planning in advance, so that even with the neighbor, on a day when it's really rainy, instead of all of us leaving Grenville and come down, maybe we decide, you know what? To alleviate in case there is slide somewhere, maybe we plan in advance. Let's carpool. Once you see the weather, maybe you can consider let's carpool.
Joe, we talk about our neighbors and stuff, and we need to have that relationship. I'm going to be honest, the love that we had before is not there.
Talking you mean you? I'm sweet and loving as I was since time immemorial.
The kind of love amongst neighbors is not there. What we need to do is ensure that the relationship we have with the people around us is good and not always that bitter. Because at the end of the day, we need each other, We need each other, and that is what we have to consider.
Well, we need each other. We need a whole lot of things. There is the PM has an address ad in the next 20 or so minutes. But I'm happy that you said it, Rena, that we need to be there for each other. And you said it on national television. Christmas is coming, Rena. What are you giving me for Christmas?
Well,
I don't need a well. I don't need a well. There's enough water going around already. I don't need a well. See? You see why the world is where it is now? Because all I asked you in a simple question: what's you going to give me for Christmas?
I know you love wine, Jay. You're going to get a bottle of wine. What about that? But I do want a Swift, so you can buy me that.
Yeah. Well, let us swiftly end this interview. Well, what we're looking at, you at the St. Paul's Road, actually, and I did earlier speak to ASP about that, and he was saying that there was still some contingency plans ones, they were still actually working them. So as we can see, most of St. Paul's is all actually cleared. But look at the area in progress. So we say congratulations to all the teams, the emergency responders that came out. Work is in progress to make sure that the St. Paul's Road gets cleaned up in a timely fashion. So look at what's there.
Yeah.
That look has galvanized since Ivan.
Yeah. Yeah, and I must say, Joe, one thing that we notice is that a lot of people are coming out in a community spirit and cleaning up, the debris that they can clean up. They're actually playing a part. Some persons are actually cleaning the drains and other places that they think need that sort of cleaning at this time so the water can run. And I'm very happy to see that we have some good community spirit still.
The community spirit, it lives on. It lives on. It's not as bad as we think, Rena. Either way, we'll take a quick commercial break. We have to say Rena is going to run off. We take a quick commercial break, and then Jermaine is going to rejoin me for us to wrap right here on GBN Television and Classic Radio.
Everybody coordinating. Sorry for Chris, little business there, the little coconut stand at the base of the hill, that's all gone. But there's life.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store or call 442-8602, 459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Whether you spend holiday nights gaming or all day decorating, whether your cooking is an absolute disaster, or your festive feast is a real lifesaver. Whether you love hosting the big line or hide away when the guests begin to arrive, or whether you've sent gifts from a faraway place,
Merry Christmas, my darling,
or you're there to see the joy on their face. However you're Christmasing, Flo has got you covered.
Ace and Napa means getting help when you walk through the door. Ace Ace and Napper is variety and quality at the right price. Ace and Napper has everything you will need for the household, for your lawn and patio. Even the highest quality paints, beautifying your home inside and outside. Just the right building supplies you need. And Napper providing the best in automotive supplies and accessories. The guarantee is we are so much more than a hardware store. Ace and Napper on the Morris Bishop Highway and Cross Street in the city. Ace will always be the helpful place.
15 minutes gone past the hour in the morning. I'm JC and Jermaine and GS with you on the inside. We're getting ready to wrap. But by the way of information, we had ASP Randel Baptiste, the officer in charge of the traffic department, and when he spoke earlier on, he gave us an overview of what's happening across the island. And in most parts, the traffic is flowing. We saw that the cleanup process is on the St. Paul's Main Road, but it did intimate that in some parts of the island, so when you across in the western side of the country, in Western Division, in Deagle Peace at that when it was just about an hour ago actually, was one lane traffic. The Balthazar Bridge, so you keep in mind that the Balthazar Bridge is impassable due to two slides that has occurred there. So persons are encouraged to use the alternate route, which is Bylands. In the Tongue of St. George, in Tongue, Sendell Tunnel, well, it's flooded out. Leave it alone. You don't want to go there. And Woolwich Road, and there's just a slide. So Woolwich Road is impassable as well. River Road, it is one-way traffic. So River Road is one way. If you're moving out of the Tongue of St. George and you're heading to the Granny Tank direction, it's one way in that direction. If you're leaving the Tongue of St. George, heading to the Granny to Bolio, up Boca Granny Tank direction, yes. Motley Hill is also one way, and that is one way if you're going up. Because remember, when we were actually coming in, we did notice that there is a sign.
There's a sign, yes.
There is a sign.
Yeah.
So it is, listen, it is one way. You see the sign? Don't say one way. One way means one way. Yeah? And I'll be there waiting for some of you who don't understand what one way is. But I mean, it has been a very, very. And these things, they change our lives so easily.
Yeah.
You know, you wake up, you plan one thing.
And then that happened.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have the children from the St. George Anglican. Heinze,
yes.
Right. They were expected to be here this morning, but certainly they're home. And certainly for those of you that's home, though, I hope you make good use of the time at home. Yeah, being at home doesn't necessarily mean it's a free-for-all, that you balance. It's a good time if you had an exam to go just do some remedial
research,
work.
yeah.
Some research.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, when I was at school, any research you had to do took place at the library.
Yes. I remember those days.
You had to go sit and
go in the encyclopedia and look up.
You had to look, take notes.
Yes.
You can't leave with the people's encyclopedia.
True.
Yeah. Now, you don't need to go
to that.
The internet.
Technology is just
it's in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, I mean, when you were at school back then, you didn't have all of this additional support. Either you knew it, you didn't know it, or you had a teacher or a big brother, somebody would teach you. Now, these kids, when they're doing homework, you know, they go to chat GPT, is it? And they ask him if I got the answer right.
Yes. And wow.
So the problem is not necessarily the technology, you know. I think if it is there for support, but you have to be able to use it to assist you when you can. But other times you want your brain to be clicking. Yes,
Definitely.
all good things come to an end, Jermaine.
Yeah.
Because we need to say goodbye to you wherever you are, because we have an address by the Prime Minister that comes up just under 10 minutes. Yes, so until then, what's your final word?
Encouraging everyone to take precautions. I mean, we have to do what we have to do, and make sure everyone is safe. Drivers on the road, take it easy while driving, and ensure that you have some sort of love when you see people on it. For example, you have the water pools in the road. We have to be very careful when we're driving because we have people on the sidewalk as well.
Right.
So we have to take precautions of that also. And for the marine effects as well, because all these things happening, we have to take precautions. Don't take this thing lightly. Flood, you can't take it lightly.
You really can't.
And my heart goes out to those of them who have it back to back, those who are getting flood in the homes, losing a lot of stuff. My heart goes out to you guys.
Yeah, GT.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, terrible.
Terrible. We do have to leave you, but certainly before we leave, we are talking about sharing the love. We want to give you if you're out there and there's some information you need to get to us, yeah. We give you an opportunity. There is relevant information that you need to get to us, not to call and make no melee. It's not a melee session. Yeah, so you can feel free to the lines are accessible before we say goodbye. So 425-2041. Feel free, give us a call. Let us know what is happening in your area if it's something new that we need to know. But one of the points that you make, when you see me in the road and have a look at Dan, oh gosh, consider.
Oh gosh, I know.
I mean, some people, they behave as though, I don't know, they that absent-minded.
Yeah, like they just lost when they drive in, and it's not good at all. It's not good.
Yeah, even some of those SLs. I mean, with these, wow. But again, reminding you were about to say?
I'm kind of wondering how Carrico and P.T. Martin doing. I'm not.
Well, the last one I heard earlier, because there was a question about whether or not schools, remember the message came on this morning, notification of schools, they were saying that the closure of schools wasn't specific to Carrico, because the weather was quite different. Maybe somebody from Carrico. My boy, Raul Patterson, I normally call him the mayor. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whenever I go to Carrico, before I leave, I have to let him know that I'll be in state. Mm-hmm. Nothing happens in Carrico without Raul knowing.
I know, right? Yeah. I know. I know.
But hold on. Why am I sitting here asking about the Carrico? Jermaine, something. I know something felt wrong about this, eh? Jermaine. I just feel.
That's the reason why I have to. I need to know what is going on there. Somebody from Carrico could do.
I feel as though I've been used. I feel used.
Used and abused?
And abused terribly. I don't even talk about Carrico. A little laughter is good. Medicine for the soul. Jermaine, what's happening in Carrico? How is Carrico?
That's the question I just asked you.
But you would know.
I'm not there at the moment. I'm here, but I would love to know what's going on in Carrico. I don't know what's happening up there.
Whatever is happening in Carrico, if it was anything bad, I know families, they would have told you. But we can tell you that, like, the restoration process, I mean, it's going quite nicely either way. It comes with its challenges. I mean, when you've lost everything, building back, sometimes building back bigger, better, there are challenges that comes with it.
Yeah.
But I certainly hope it is. Those are lessons that are well learned. But again, remind you, the number on the inside, 435-2041. Give us an appreciation as to what's happening in your area. But we can tell you that the cleanup on the St. Paul's area, that it continues. If you're on the western side, in the Digo Peace area, it is one lane traffic that's been accommodated there. On the east side of the island, Balthazar, due to slides, it is one way. Balthazar is one lane traffic. It's closed. Sorry. So Balthazar is closed. The alternative route is that of Bylands. Yes?
All right.
If you don't know where Bylands is, don't ask me. Ask somebody else. I can't help you. I can't help you. In the tunnel of St. George, we last heard that Sandal Tunnel, it is flooded out. Yes, so if you're coming from the Carnage and you need to gain access into the tongue of St. George, it means you need to go up Scott Street and make your way up to Market Hill. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the option. Woolwich Road, it is closed. I know some persons there normally to avoid the traffic, since they've done the rerouting of the traffic through Park Lane. They use Woolwich Road to take an ease because of the congestion. Well, Woolwich Road is actually closed, so you may want to consider, if you don't want to use Woolwich Road, when you come up Looking Street, it means you'll have to go up the lane and head down. Yes, and the ASP did also encourage, and if you don't really truly, you don't have a legitimate reason why you need to go in town.
Right. This time,
avoid it. A lot of the roads, while they might be passable, there's a lot might be debris.
That's true.
Still on the road.
That's true.
You know what?
That's true. And it's amazing how this weather pattern is. Consistency with the rain and the flood. Plus, I think it was Saturday gone there. It was the water level rise.
Yes.
And the Carolina's just.
But even this morning when we were coming through, we were saying, why are people still up to the parked their vehicles? It was around the Hubbard's area.
Yes.
And we're like, guys, we need to start thinking proactively.
Yeah, we need to.
We need to start thinking proactively. I see you have your nutmeg earrings.
Oh, yes. Lovely.
Wow.
Ooh.
Mamacita.
Representing the spice. It's beautiful.
Papa Bun.
Of course.
She's on the inside. We are here, folks. So we have to leave you for now. Remind you that the PM will be addressing the nation via GIS. That address should start in under 5 minutes. What happens beyond that, folks? We just encourage you. It's a good time to go outside, see what's happening, and help in whatever way that you can. For those who assisted, continue to be part of the process of assisting. If if that spread is not part of your community, maybe what needs to happen is that you start adopting and embracing it. The folks in the River Road area, I know, trying times, no doubt, but as we say as old Jimmy says, boy, you have to let the esprit go, keep up the esprit go, and do that which you need to do. So until then, so everybody, it's your boy JC,
Superstar
on the inside. Until then, so long everybody.
Peace.